Hello, I'm Francis Asari, representing Group 9. I'm here to introduce our project on Simple Password Locker, where we took our idea from Google Authenticator. Our project is a Java application that lets the user securely store login credentials from up to three applications. But to protect our locker, we use a master password system. When starting the code, we define the master password, private static, private static string, final final string master password equals to admin123. So when you run the code, it asks you to enter the password, which is that of admin123. So you watch me to run my code. The code is being run. So when you run the code, it also asks you to enter your master password, which is that of the admin, which is that of the admin 123, and you click on enter. So after you click on enter, your menu shows the add credentials, view credentials, and delete credentials. So enter your choice. You click on maybe 4, and you enter your choice. It comes. So in case you typed your password that does not match the program, it says access denied. So in case I type any word and click on enter, it gives me access denied. Yeah,
Hello,
thank you.
my name is Johan Kokukulevu and I'll continue from where Francis ended. So let me walk you through the menu navigation part of our password locker program. So this is what the user sees and interacts with after they logged in with the master password. So once the user gets access, the program enters a continuous loop. That means it keeps running, waiting for the user to choose something from the menu. The menu that is add credential, view credentials, delete credential, and for exit. So the program reads their input using the scanner tool and runs a switch statement based on what number the user types. So if they type 1, the program jumps to add credential. If they type 4, it says goodbye and exits. Goodbye, your credentials are safe with us. So if the user makes a mistake and types something like 6 or hello, the program tells them it's an invalid choice, and it loops right back to the menu so they can try again. So in short, how the user talks to the app and tells it what to do. Without this loop, the user wouldn't be able to do anything. And that's what the menu navigator is all about. It is the traffic controller guiding the user to the right actions based on their menu, based on their inputs. Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Hubert Tamanka and I'll be taking over from Joano. So my line of code is I'll be explaining how credentials are saved and added. So I'll go ahead running the code. So I enter my master password, admin 123, enter a choice, then an application name. Okay, so our code allows us to save 3 credentials. So I'll go ahead adding the remaining 2 credentials. Yeah, so I'm done. So if you want to see all the saved credentials, you go to the reason why we are seeing all our saved credentials from Facebook, Telegram to Twitter is because this is a result of us using the 2D array function.
Hello guys. So hello guys, I'm Nicholas Amo Ainsikunu, and this part of the program is why I explain the view credential option from the menu. This part allows the user to access added credentials in the password locker. So to further explain, I'm going to run the code. I'm going to run the code itself. So it's going to first ask us of our master password, which we already know. Now, the view option allows a user to access all added credentials, but without any added credentials, there's no use of the view option. So now I'm going to add a credential. So let's say Facebook and username Nick, a password 1234. So now you can see there is a credential in there, but our program doesn't just allow one credential due to the fact of the 2D array function we use. It allows us to not just access one input one data of credential, but three from different applications altogether. So I'm going to add two extra ones to them. So let's say Snapchat. Nick has the username. Sorry. I'm adding another credential to it. Instagram. So we finally added our credentials, and we can see that anytime we add a credential, it says credential has been added successfully. So now how do we view the credential? We have to choose the option from the menu option. We choose two, as you can see, to view a credential. So I'm choosing that option. So now as you can see, we can see that saved credentials, we have the Facebook are inputted, the Snapchat and the Instagram over here alongside its username and password. This tells us that our program has been successfully run and we can see everything. And now what if you want to go back into your menu option? You can see it tells you press enter to return to the menu option. So you click on enter and it takes us to our menu option. So this is how the view option of our program works in Java, and this is basically like the brain of it. Allows the user to know if there's a credential or there's no credential. And what if I later on said in a video that our app allows 3 credentials. So what if the user wants to add another credential? Let's see what happens. It doesn't open. It automatically takes us back to the menu. This is as a result of our container that contains all the password logs being full. So let me delete one. Let's say Facebook. So let's go back into the view option. As you can see, we have 2 now. So now let's enter and see if we can add a credential. So you see it comes as enter application for a new credential, but before we couldn't because the container was full. Thank you.
My name is Libikea Ekiariko and I'm in Group 9. And I'm here to talk about the deleting credentials and edit parts of our program that handles deleting saved credentials. So this feature starts by making sure there is actually something to delete. If the user hasn't saved anything yet, it will simply show a message that says nothing to delete, and it will stop there. So I'm going to run my code. going to run my code. So now I'm going to enter the master password, which is admin 123, then enter. So now here I'm going to add in credential, which is 1, enter. So now I'm going to key in the application name, TikTok, enter. Then your username, Louis. Then we input in our password. So we now have our saved credentials. So we are now going to try our delete option from the menu. So here we are going to input in 3. So as shown, we can see our saved credentials. So we are coming to delete 1. So we key in 1, enter. So as you can see, it says credential deleted successfully. So now that credential is deleted successfully, we will click option 4 from the menu to exit the program. So now our code is giving us goodbye. Your credentials are safe with us. Thank you.
My name is Clifford Setonam Agosuke, and then representing Group 9 on the topic number analyzer. And then I am here to take the first 7 lines. Yeah. Okay, so to start with, I'll start with the first one, which is import java.io buffered reader. So with the first one, the line talks about the buffered reader. It helps to read text input from the user efficiently. Yeah. And then the second one, it brings in the input stream reader, it converts the input from the keyboard into characters that buffered reader to make buffer reader understand. Yeah. And then also the third one, import java.io expansion. Yeah, this line also makes the program aware of the IO expansion class, which is necessary because reading into from the user might cause input or output errors that need to be handled. Yeah, and then we go to the main content which is the public class. That's number analyzer. Yeah, this line declares the start of the public class named number analyzer, which contains all the code and logic for analyzing the number. Yeah, and then we go to the 5. Yeah, I've already spoken about the 5. That's the number analyzer. So we go to the public static void. This is the main method where the program starts running, and it includes true IO extension to handle any input or output errors that might occur during the inputs. Okay, so we take the 7 in here. We take the string again. Yeah, the string again. This line declares a string variable named again, which will be used to ask the user whether they want to analyze another number or not. Okay, so I'll leave it here for my fellow colleague.
Hello, Ebenezer Finn, and taking on from where he left us, the do is not just a statement, but it's a condition whereby it's a loop, and the user can use it as many times as possible, or just once, at least just once. And inside the do statement, here is system.out.print, which is supposed to show where the user inputs data, and here's where the data is placed. And the else if, moving on to else if is supposed to determine whether the data inputted is an even number, else show odd if the number inputted is odd, or show prime number if the number is inputted as a prime number, or the system would rather output palindrome, else if the number inputted above is not a prime number nor even number nor odd, it then tells the system to output palindrome, which means the number the user inputted above is a palindrome figure. And then down here show system.out.print if you want to reanalyze another number. And here's the end of the loop saying, wow, like I said before, a do is not just a statement, but it's a condition where, or a loop where you can use it once or reuse it multiple times. And here's the end of the loop, which ends in while. And here's the code implementation for the while statement or the while condition. So I'll leave it for my fellow colleague to further explain the following lines of code. Thank you.
Franklin, and I'll explain two simple Java functions. One that checks if a number is a prime, and another that checks if a number is a palindrome. First, a prime number is a number that is greater than 1 and can only be divided by 1 and itself. For example, 2, 3, and 5, and 7 are prime numbers, but 4 is not a prime number because 4 can be divided by 2. And here is how the code works. If the number is less than or equal to 1, it is not prime, so the function returns to false. So the function returns to false. If the number is exactly 2, if the number is exactly 2, the function uses a loop. It checks if the number can be divided evenly by any number from 2 up to the square root of the number. If it finds a divisor, it returns to false, and if it finds no divisors, it returns to true. For example, let's say we check a number 7. It is greater than 1 and not 2, so the loop starts. The loop checks 2. 7 divided by 2 is not exact, so no divisor is found, so 7 is a prime. And the second code is a palindrome check function. A palindrome is a number that reads the same forward and backward. For example, 121 is a palindrome because when we reverse it, it's still 121. How the code works: it saves the original number. It reverses the number by taking the last digit and building the reverse number. It removes the last digit each time until the number becomes 0. At the end, it compares the reverse number to the original. If they are the same, it is true. Otherwise, it returns to false. So, for example, let's say the number is 123. When we reverse it, we get 321, so it is false. And a number like 121, when we reverse it step by step, we get 121, so it returns to true. In conclusion, the prime check function helps us to know if a number has only 2 factors, 1 and itself, and the palindrome checks function helps us to know if a number reads the same backwards as forward.